am Shireen Michelle Hunter, an alumni member of Rotary International and the incoming chairlady for Public Image, District 9400, Southern Africa. I'm also the commercial director from African Brand Architects, proudly the sponsor for the African Centennial, mandated by both Rotary District 9400 and African Brand Architects to build strategic partnerships around the world through the effective use of public relations and public image globally. The values, vision, willpower, and hope that these two amazing brands share is much more than just a coincidence. It is the perfect marriage. One of my mentors once told me, in business, there are brief moments, glimpses, when you can actually see the magic happen. It is perfection, the right time, the right people, the right place that come together in perfect union. It is there where the magic happens. See it, feel it, celebrate the moment. It doesn't come around very often. This is the relationship that I have watched unfold between Rotary and African Brand Architects over the last few months. Africans in and out of Rotary, joining hands, joining hearts in the right spirit with the absolute unwavering determination to build an even better Africa. Today, I salute and thank Rotary International under the leadership of a magnificent woman in Rotary, District Governor Anna-Marie Mostert, who has orchestrated what will be a very successful African Centennial Conference. Welcome, Africa, Rotary in Africa. Today, we all stand facing international doors of opportunity, the very doors that Rotary International have opened up for each one of us to pass through, individually or perhaps collectively. The Rotary that I knew 30 years ago exactly, as a young girl at the tender age of 16 in 1991, when I attended my first Rotary meeting in Bedfordview, preparing to become a long-term exchange student, is not the same Rotary that I've come to know today. An entire ecosystem has been birthed since then. Today, it is one of the strongest, biggest enabling mechanisms that I have witnessed in the world, bringing together service, education, and commercial prospects. Happy birthday, Rotary Africa. Congratulations, Rotarians. For the first time ever in history, we have a virtual opportunity to connect in a single event spanning across the world and connecting Africa. Now is the time to engage Africa.
Good morning, fellow Rotarians and friends of Rotary. Welcome to the Rotary African Centennial celebrations. And to start us off, I ask you to join in our interfaith opening prayers, led by Reverend Tutu Mkhize, as well as Rabbi Hudson.
Mother, Father God, we give you so much thanks for this gathering of your children who have given of their time, their talent, and their hearts for the improvement of their communities and our world. We give you thanks for this organization that for 100 years has worked on our continent to encourage, to build up, and to relieve pain and suffering. We ask you to bless all of those gathered wherever they may be. Give them all the courage to continue to speak truth. Give them all a love of justice, that they will continue to strive to be fair to all with whom they deal. Give them a heart of care, that they will continue to work to build goodwill and friendships wherever they may be. And Lord, give them the compassion to ensure that what they do, what they say, and how they interact with one another will be beneficial to all with whom they interact. We thank you for this day. We thank you for this time. Bless us all that we might be a means of blessing to all whom we meet, and allow them to be a means of blessing to us. In the name of the one who came and lived amongst us and walked with the marginalized and strove for justice, who died for us and rose again to liberate us all. Amen.
A very good day to everybody. My name is Maulana Musa Abdurrahman Mkize from South Africa. We will render the first opening prayer. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, most kind, most merciful. All praise is due to one Allah, Lord of the universe, Master of the Day of Judgment. He alone do we worship, and He alone do we ask for help. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those upon whom is thy favor, and not of those upon whom is your anger, nor of those who have went astray. Almighty Allah, indeed your forgiveness is broader than our sins, and your grace is more sought after than the fruits of our deeds. Enable us to do good, and save us from bad deeds, and forgive us and those who believe. O Allah, indeed you are peaceful, and from you peace emanates. And let us live amongst ourselves in peace, and enter us into your paradise, which is also a house of peace. Through your grace, bless us and bless our club as we're going forward. Enable us to become the hand among your people, to assist wherever we can, and to remain in the service of your people. As we celebrate our centenary, we ask that you bless us with another centenary of good work. Make us the means of blessings to those who have no hope. Make us the means of hope and good spirit to those who are hopeless, so that we can be able to uplift our people and be able to benefit people throughout the world. We ask you to bless us, and we ask this through the mighty name that you have, that is stored by you, that you know that when you are called with, you respond, that you make us a means of benefit to others now and forevermore. Amen.
Our God and God of our patriarchs and matriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless the proceedings and deliberations of this Rotary Africa Centennial Conference. Almighty God, give strength and fortitude to the leaders of Rotary International and Rotary Africa, and to the multitude of committed volunteers who have dedicated their lives to the service of others and to promote integrity, goodwill, and peace throughout the world. Master of the universe, put into their hearts the love and reverence of you to uphold the values of social justice, the eradication of poverty, and the care for all of humanity. May they fulfill their mission in truth and with sincerity, to thereby partner with you, our Father in heaven, to build a world filled with love, mutual understanding, and respect for all your children across all nations, religions, cultures, and societies, that they may dwell together in tranquility and peace. May the sacred work of Rotary to promote the fulfillment of the commandment, Ve'ahavta l're'acha kamocha, to love your neighbor as yourself, impact and influence the lives of all the citizens of the world for good. My mentor and world Jewish leader, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, taught, if you see what needs to be repaired and how to repair it, then you have found the piece of the world that God has left you to complete. But if you only see what is wrong and what is ugly in the world, then it is you yourself that needs repair. May we all raise our sights to look with the eyes of understanding, compassion, and care, and find in ourselves the commitment and resolve to be true agents of positive change. Yevarechecha Hashem v'yishmerecha. May the Lord bless thee and keep thee. Yair Hashem panav elecha v'chuneka. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto thee. Yisa Hashem panav elecha v'yaseim lecha shalom. May the Lord lift his countenance upon thee and give thee peace.
Thank you for standing with us in this lovely way. It gives me now great pleasure to introduce our anchor sponsor. This historic event was made possible in part due to the sponsor and the support of African Brands Architects. And here with me is the Managing Director, Natalia Rosa.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends and colleagues, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. When Paul Harris, founder of Rotary, said in the 1930s that the story of Rotary would have to be written again and again, leading on from the seminal insight, he could not have imagined the extent to which the world would need to be resilient in the decades that followed. We have been required to face adversity, trauma, and tragedy, from a world war just a few years later to the rampant spread of COVID-19, the latest shift to impact every generation. I remember when I heard the first case of COVID had reached African shores and how I felt without knowing what was to come. My somatic marker said run, my survival instincts kicked in, and without taking a breath, I'm still running that marathon today, not knowing where it will take me. Our freedom of movement so completely constrained, it's hard not to feel like a caged lioness at times. And as we look for a clear path amidst the uncertainty foisted upon us in this changing world, to which Harris referred way back in the 1930s, almost 100 years ago, we have been forced, sometimes kicking and screaming, to change. The superheroes of our new normal are those who have rushed to the front lines to care for their communities. The nurses, carers, doctors, essential services. It is their courage and selflessness we admire and which inspires us to make those necessary changes, to adapt and be resilient despite all the hard knocks we've experienced this past year. And while we crave solidarity, community, and collaboration, most of all, we crave humanity. We look to brands like Rotary to show us they share our values of safety, well-being, connection, and sustainability. As a brand, Rotary has lived and breathed these values since its inception. A consequence of the application of these values is the complete eradication of the polio virus on the African continent. Each of us here today have relationships with brands. We demand that brands focus on service above self to garner our attention, our support, and advocacy. You will hear from much more eloquent speakers than I on the captivating work that is happening on the African continent, from insights into a greener Africa with Eliane Wanjiku, East Africa's youngest climate change ambassador, to how Africa can emerge stronger after the COVID-19 pandemic by Dr. Nkosana Moyo, the Executive Director for the Mandela Institute for Development Studies. The Rotary Africa Centennial is a communion of those creative, credible, and excellent stories. And the alignment with Rotary, not just during the event, but beyond, based on our shared values, is incredibly exciting for us. In this Rotary Africa Centennial Room, we celebrate your resilience, creativity, and sheer tenacity to stay on your feet, take a step back, and look for interesting and innovative ways to rise to the top together. Within constraint comes that opportunity for creativity. What a joy it is for African brand architects to be the proud headline sponsors of the Rotary Africa Centennial event. We look forward to engaging with you as we forge partnerships, friendships, and look ahead with that characteristic African ingenuity and optimism to another 100 successful years on the African continent. I thank you.
That's not the last we'll hear from our anchor sponsor. Thank you so much, Tali. Joining me in the next 2 days is my dear District Governor-elect and our future leader for District 9400, Dr. Stella Anyangwe. Welcome, Stella.
Thank you very much, Anne-Marie. We were pleased to receive recorded goodwill messages from directors, from trustees and friends from around the world. We will be sharing them with you throughout the course of the 2 days. We thank all the participants who have given of their time to ensure our inspiring lineup for the week, for the event. Certificates will be sent to all parties with our grateful thanks. I'd also like to take this opportunity to remind you all about our virtual exhibition. We have a number of booths showcasing projects and partnerships. The booths are open for the next 2 days, so take the opportunity to visit them and engage with our exhibitors and find ways to join forces to make a sustainable impact.
And now, we are so honored to have with us our very own Rotary International Director for Zone 22, Katerina Kotsali Papadimitriou. Katerina grew up surrounded by Rotary. Her father was a district governor. Katerina and her husband are major donors, and Katerina's impressive Rotary biography shows her having received numerous and a number of awards and citations from Rotary, including the Rotary Foundation Meritorious Service and a Service Award for Polio-Free World. And now I hand over to Rotary International Director Katerina to officially open the Centennial celebrations, after which we will observe the flag ceremony as well as remember those who have been called to higher service. Katerina.
Dear President Holger, senior leaders, regional leaders, fellow Rotarians, Rotaractors, and spouses, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome you all to Zone 22 Africa International Virtual Conference. Celebrating 100 years of Rotary International in Africa is a milestone not exclusively for Africa, but for the Rotary world as a whole. It is a century of Rotary members creating everlasting change, improving communities, and opening opportunities for better life in Africa. A century of service, commitment, and exceptional achievements. And that is something worth celebrating. The first club in Africa was chartered in Johannesburg in 1921 and was followed by other clubs onwards, expanding Rotary in the whole continent. Today, Africa is holding a distinguished place on the map of Rotary. Rotarians in Africa dare dream big and set bold goals. Their achievements have shaped the social landscape of the continent. Through their successful projects, they solved real problems in their community, like food, water, shelter, healthcare, literacy, jobs, and human rights. Rotarians have used their passion, commitment, and enthusiasm to take action on sustainable projects. The certification of the African region free of wild polio virus in August 2020 is a historic event that marked the trajectory of Rotary in general. This milestone is an outstanding public health achievement and a huge step forward on the road to global polio eradication. Let us stay connected, striving the accomplishment of Rotary's top priority. The general overview of the membership growth grants optimism about the future of Rotary and Rotaract in the African region. Of course, we should focus overpassing difficulties to enhance membership among countries which have a low percentage and achieve an equal membership growth in the whole Zone 22. Female presence reaching almost 36% of the total membership is among the highest in the world. That is also an achievement to celebrate. 7 Rotaract clubs are among the 2020-21 Project Awards finalists. Congratulations to the Rotaract clubs for this outstanding achievement. With proven success, locally owned and led implementation, and strong partnerships, the Partners for a Malaria-Free Zambia program is Rotary's first programs of scale grant recipient. We could continue telling success stories for a long time. Our new virtual connectivity, offering hybrid opportunities, invites more Rotarians to attend the Centennial celebration, this major international event. It is a unique opportunity to connect with local Rotarians, discover the beauty and mystery of Africa, capture the magic of local culture. Rotarians from all over the world could invest in ideas, share experiences, and enlarge Rotary horizons. Celebrate Rotary in Africa creates an exclusive opportunity to share our aspirations and our visions and join efforts for shaping Rotary's futures for the years to come. Let us gaze to Rotary's future in Africa with optimism and hope. The achievements of the past allow us to dream. And as Nelson Mandela mentioned, action without vision is only passing time. Vision without action is merely daydreaming, but vision with action can change the world. I have the great pleasure and honor to introduce the senior leaders participating in the program. Rotary International President Holger Knag, past Rotary International President Jonathan Majigagbe, TRF Trustee Chair Ravi Ravindran, past RI President Ian Risley, past RI President Barry Racine, RI President-elect Shekhar Mehta, RI President nominee Jennifer Jones, TRF Trustee Gita Manek, General Secretary John Hugo, past RI Director Mohamed Bejmedou, past RI Director Sam Okudzento, past RI Vice President Dean Laws, past RI Vice President Yinka Babalola, RI Director nominee Patrick Chisanga. We welcome all Rotary senior leaders who participate in this celebration. Also, the district governors in Africa, Zone 22, PDGs, DGEs, DGNs, and all regional leaders who celebrate with us. Our great collaborator, chair of Rotary International Eradication of Wild Polio Campaign in Africa program in Nigeria, Dr. Tunji Funsho. And Rotary's great sponsor, Bill Gates, co-founder Microsoft Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. We appreciate the participation of your excellencies ambassadors, Rotarians, Rotaractors and Interactors, and Rotary alumni, business owners and representatives of the academic institutions, speakers, moderators, and panelists, the Centennial anchor sponsor, African Brand architects. Fellow Rotarians, ladies and gentlemen, let us join to discover the rich history of Rotary in Africa and applaud the great achievements of Rotarians. Wishing you all a great attendance. It is my great pleasure and honor to introduce Trustee Chair, past RI President Ravi Ravindran. Ravi Ravindran made our foundation stronger during his term as TRF Chair. Leading by example, he's always available to join virtual meetings of so many clubs, districts, or even small groups, clarifying aspects of the foundation and its global impact. He has been a consistent source of inspiration, motivation, and leadership for TRF. Chairman Ravi and Vanathy are Arch Clamp Society members and benefactors of the Rotary Foundation. Please join me in welcoming TRF Trustee Chair Ravi Ravindran.
My dear friends, this was one event I was looking forward to attending personally. 100 years of Rotary in Africa. My first visit to Africa was in 2004. At that time, my country, Sri Lanka, was in the throes of a civil war. I came to Johannesburg with a group of 4 leading business friends to learn of the role the South African business community played in bridging the divisions between communities during apartheid. We were so inspired by the stories we heard of the business community's role in South Africa, we set out to meet them. Disappointingly, our scheduled meeting with Mr. Mandela was cancelled. But we did meet Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, now Prime Minister, and Mr. Rolf Meyer. Our newfound South Africa friends then visited my country and spent 2 days educating our own business community. And from that point onwards, we did what we would to push our government in the direction of a peaceful settlement. When Makerere was inaugurated, the world seemed to be teetering at the edge of a precipice because of the rampaging pandemic. The pandemic still had the potential to wreak havoc in fragile states and severely test international crisis management systems. I was so delighted to learn of your own African Peace Concert. I also commend District Governor Anna Marie in her district's project to train 100 peace mediators to promote peace building within Africa and to be accredited to mediators beyond borders. The number suffering acute hunger is expected to nearly double by year-end to more than 250 million, with the first famines of the coronavirus era lurking around the corner. It has caused the deepest economic disruption since World War II. And the way ahead, my friends, is extremely uncertain. But hopefully, 2021 will see the beginning of the end of this pandemic, although by April, Africa has seen less than 2% of the 690 million COVID-19 vaccine doses administered globally. As Dr. Matshidiso Moeti, the WHO Regional Director for Africa, said, Africa is already playing COVID-19 vaccination catch-up, and the gap is widening. While we acknowledge the immense burden placed by the global demand for vaccines, inequity can only worsen scarcity, and more than 1 billion Africans remain on the margins of this historic march to overcome the pandemic. Throughout history, my friends, plagues and diseases have ravaged humanity, changing the course of history, but the changes forced by these plagues are not always for the worst. The Spanish flu, for instance, in 1919, the need for a service-oriented entity became clear, and Rotary was the answer to that call. The first club in Asia, the Shanghai Club, was chartered in 1919, followed by Manila in Philippines, and Calcutta in India, and then Tokyo in Japan in 1920. Africa established its first club in Johannesburg, South Africa in 1921. And today, 100 years later, Rotary is entrenched in 54 countries in Africa with a strength of nearly 36,000 members. And thanks to these magnificent Rotarians, we were able to reach the amazing milestone of having Africa declared as wild polio free, a goal previously believed to be impossible. So when the WHO made their announcement last August, it was really a tribute to the health workers, mainly women who have traveled by car, by rail, by boat, by foot, by any means to reach children from Abuja to Maiduguri, from Ethiopia to Cote d'Ivoire, from the DRC to Ghana, all with the polio vaccines. To the scientists who led surveillance activities, and to the leadership of all 47 countries in the WHO's African region. It was a tribute to the 10,552 members spread across 402 clubs in Nigeria who have delivered vaccines, raised awareness, and persevered despite setbacks and despite the challenges of reaching children in the most difficult places. But we know that our world faces serious challenges beyond disease eradication. Beginning on 1st July 2021, global grant funding can support projects integrating renewable energy strategies to combat environmental degradation or sustaining food production, protecting oceans, water resources, and much more. Did that mean that environmental projects are something new for us? No, not at all. Rotary has been at the forefront of environmental projects for quite some time. Adding the new area of focus merely formalized and expanded our commitment to protecting the environment. Over the last 5 years, our foundation has allocated $18.4 million in global grant funding to environment-related causes. Climate change is increasing inconsistency in the water cycle. In fact, a new World Bank report finds that the worsening impacts of climate change in 3 densely populated regions of the world: Sub-Saharan Africa, South Asia, and Latin America could see over 140 million people move within their own countries' borders by 2050. And as we look for other like-minded partners to work with us, we have created a new program to catalyze a new era of transformative impact. Look at our polio eradication program. It's successful not just because we provided vaccines. It's successful because of the power of our advocacy to elicit powerful support. Look at our latest programs of scale grant. Each year, one project is selected, and the honor this year, for the first time, goes to the Zambian Rotarians. We put up $2 million for a project in Zambia. This was matched by equal amounts by the Gates Foundation and World Vision, making up a total of $6 million. We have support on the ground that very few, if any, can boast of. In Zambia, on the ground, our own members will band with several organizations and help train 60 Zambian district health officers, 382 health facility staff, and 2,500 community health workers. The goal? To reduce malaria by 90%. Imagine how many lives of children and how many lives of pregnant mothers will be saved. We have the ability to work on such projects with the environment as well. And this program could be a precursor to drawing major funding partners in the future, much like our 3H grants transformed our programs in health, hunger, and humanity. As then President Clem Renouf said, we were hacking at the branches of ill health, malnutrition, hunger, poverty, illiteracy in a multitude of relatively small and unrelated projects, when all the while we could have been attacking the roots. So I hope you are enriched by this Centennial event with the knowledge that with your commitment, the future of our foundation is a bright one. And now is the time to ensure our actions are remembered well. Thank you, and please be safe.
In the program, you would see that President-elect Shekhar is to address us live from India. Unfortunately, due to a family emergency, I'm very happy to stand in for him. We often speak of Rotary as the world's best-kept secret. This is not surprising because those of us who are Rotarians don't like to talk about what we do to help others to make the world a better place. We are quite shy to speak about time we invest, the money we help raise, the young leaders we educate, and the lives we save with food, water, and vaccines. I want to share a story with you. In the dead of the night of 23rd January 1900, two great future world leaders passed each other on a battle-torn hill. The hill south of the town of Ladysmith here in South Africa, the province of KwaZulu-Natal, is known as Spionkop and gave its name to the most battle of the Anglo-Boer War. One of those future leaders, world leaders, was at the time a journalist covering the war. The other was a volunteer stretcher, carrying the wounded away from the battlefield. Both of those world leaders would half a century later work closely with Rotary and with Rotarians. Winston Churchill and Muhammad Gandhi both wrote pieces to the Rotarian reflecting on war, and both became advocates of peace. One of those Rotary pillars. We like to think that their experience in South Africa helped shape that philosophy they gained in Ladysmith and later in South Africa. As Nelson Mandela remarked, India gave us a Gandhi. We gave India a Mahatma. Rotary was founded in 1905 by Paul Harris, a Chicago lawyer who wanted like-minded business people to become more involved in their communities. Today, Rotary has spread to thousands of communities in hundreds of countries around the world. Here in Africa, there are more than 1,400 clubs and over 38,000 members. But that remarkable story of Rotary in Africa began there in Johannesburg in 18 January 1921, when Edward C. Fisher, a member of the Rotary Club of Pittsburgh, had lunch with 5 men in the Johannesburg YMCA. The subject of the lunch was Rotary because Fisher had a mandate from the board of directors of the International Association of Rotary Clubs. It would only be known in 1922 as Rotary International to go ahead and charter a club if he thought it was possible. The group met again the following week, and each of the 5 members brought a friend along to the lunch. They were excited about the idea of starting a Rotary Club, and they couldn't wait to meet again. Exactly 100 years tomorrow, on the 25th of April 1921, a third lunch was held where 45 people signed an application for membership to be sent to the International Association of Rotary Clubs. On the 1st July 1921, the Rotary Club of Johannesburg was chartered as the first club on the continent of Africa. For the first time, of 5 men who met for lunch to try to make a difference. Rotary in Africa is part of the global network that strives to build a world where people unite, take action, and create lasting change. So this year, on the 1st of July, we will commemorate 100 years of service above self by Rotary in Africa. It's symbolic that Rotary District 9400, which chartered the first club in Africa, will for the first time be headed by a black African woman. District Governor-elect Dr. Stella Nyangwe was born in Cameroon, chose South Africa as her home, and aptly reflect Rotary today, which thrives on diversity and celebrates to contribute to people of all backgrounds, regardless of their race, their age, color, abilities, religion, social, economic status, culture, sex, sexual orientation, and gender identity. I'm very proud of our future leader, Dr. Stella. Stella, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Anne-Marie. It's my pleasure.
I now hand over to Katarina to introduce President Holger Knaak.
President Holger Knaak, a member of the Rotary Club of Herzogtum Lauenburg-Mölln, Germany, is the CEO of Knaak KG, a real estate company. He was previously a partner and general manager of Knaak Enterprises, a 125-year-old family business. He's a founding member of the Civic Foundation of the city of Ratzenburg and served as president of the golf club Gut Krambeck. President Holger is also the founder and chair of the Carl Adam Foundation. Together with his wife, Suzanne, they are major donors to the Rotary Foundation and members of the Big West Society. Please join me in welcoming President Holger for his welcoming message.
Hello, fellow Rotarians. I'm delighted to share in celebrating the centenary of Rotary in Africa. For 100 years, Rotary has helped build peace and expand economic opportunities throughout the continent. And just this year, we had the great pleasure to celebrate our greatest success in Africa to date, the declaration that the continent is now wild polio-free. This great success came as a result of the hard work and dedication of Rotarians all across the African continent. And I'm grateful for your dedication and commitment to ending polio worldwide. Celebrating a milestone anniversary is a big deal across the Rotary world. And my only disappointment is that I couldn't be with you to celebrate firsthand as originally planned. But this past year, we have learned the power of virtual conventions
and I was so pleased to virtually participate in one of my presidential conferences this year with Rotarians and Rotaractors in Nigeria. Everything Rotary does helps build friendships, break down barriers to understand and build peace around the world. And by creating our service projects and supporting peace fellowships, scholarships, youth exchange, and inter-country committees, our members take action to address the underlying causes of conflict, including poverty, discrimination, ethnic tension, lack of access to education, and unequal distribution of resources. And by the way, this is including COVID-19 vaccines. This past year, as we all coped with the pandemic, we have learned once again the importance of care in everything we do. Taking care of each other and showing care to people around the globe as they struggle against disease, poverty, and injustice. This kind of care leads to peace, and it is up to us to help put the world on a path to a more peaceful and hopeful future. And we have also taken a strong stand against discrimination in all forms around the world. Discrimination exists in every culture, but takes on different forms everywhere. And while Rotary is not political, neither can we be silent. And when we see discrimination, we have a duty to speak out and stand up for our core value of diversity. We are Rotarians, Rotaractors, supportive members of the family of Rotary, and vital service partners around the world. And we are going to live up to our core values just as we have throughout our history, in good times and in bad times. And we will continue to thrive because we are not afraid of change. Thank you for being part of this journey for so many years and for leading us into a bright future. Again, congratulations on your important milestone, and thank you.
It is my great honor to welcome His Excellency, the Minister of Finance, Mr. Tito Mboweni, the official spokesperson of our host country, the Republic of South Africa. Mr. Mboweni is the former governor of the South Africa Reserve Bank and also an honorary Rotarian of the Rotary Club of Heinsberg. Mr. Mboweni, thank you for making the time to address us.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to join in these celebrations. It is my singular honor and privilege to join President Knack in welcoming you to South Africa, albeit virtually. As we all know, the COVID-19 pandemic has caused havoc all around the world, has caused a lot of suffering here in South Africa as well. Many people are dying, many people are getting sick, and therefore this has made it very difficult for us to meet physically. But nevertheless, thanks to the new technologies that we have, we are able to meet virtually. So it is my duty to welcome you to South Africa virtually, to welcome you to this conference, this Centennial Conference, and to congratulate Rotary Africa on this magnificent achievement that since the organization was established in Johannesburg in 1921, this organization has grown throughout South Africa and throughout Africa, making a vital contribution in the lives of ordinary people, intervening in instances where there's market failure or government failure, but also in building friendships across races and across gender, a very important contribution to creating a human society. I therefore take this opportunity once again to congratulate Rotary on this magnificent achievement and wish you well during the course of the conference. I will be joining you again tomorrow when we discuss the state of the global economy. I thank you very much and I congratulate you and wish you well. Thank you very much indeed.
How wonderful was this opening?
It has been fantastic, Anne-Marie, with all the people that have come on. We just hope the rest of the day will go like this.